inutami so Minutami so Minuta desamparado Mino sakiko ta soledad Mita bom cuidar Mita rondona protection Essa aqui não tão ilusão Passou a descobrir, a realizar Mita bom acompanhar Sempre bom guiar Sem me entregar Mi coração tá tranquilo Se me tá bom acompanhar Divinamente bom cuidar Mi nota nunca me só Cielo completo T'accompagnami Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Acompanhar-me I don't walk this road alone Peace walks with me like a friend I feel love in every shadow And grace that never ends Even in the quiet moments I can hear the sacred sound A whisper deep inside me Saying you are safe and found Mi tá bom acompanhar Sempre bom guiar Sem me tá entregar Mi coração tá tranquilo Se me tá bom acompanhar Divinamente bom cuidar Minuta nunca me só Cielo completo T'accompagnami Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Acompanhar-me Mi tá bom acompanhar E sempre bom guiar Sem me tá entregar Mi coração tem tranquilidade Se me tá bom acompanhar Divinamente bom cuidar Mi nota nunca me só Cielo completo T'accompagnami Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Acompanhar-me Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Mi tá bom acompanhar-me Acompanhar-me
Contento y agradecido pa' mi vida Me está contento y agradecido pa' mi salud Pa' mi familia, amigo y conocinar Que sempre tão sostén pa' mí Me está contento y agradecido pa' oportunidad Que está presente na mi tu dia Me está contento y agradecido pa' sostén do universo Me está contento y agradecido pa' mi guía en lo espiritual Pa' mi ángel na leitura e alma Que também tá junto comigo Me está contento e agradecido pa' mi jornada nova Me está contento e agradecido Me está contento e agradecido pa' mi vida nova Para redescobrimento de que me dá Pa' que comita e que conte propósito de mi vida de mi realidad tá aqui Me está contento e agradecido pa' todo cual como experiencia Que ajuda me llega en lugar Que llama mi vida aqui na terra Me está contento e agradecido Me está contento contento y agradecido. Mitad contento y agradecido pa' amor, mitad contento y agradecido pa' felicidad, pa' comprender mi poder y cada vez es aquí. Y el otro descubre su dinamita, contento y agradecido de estar consciente y mi propósito en el mundo aquí. Estoy contento y agradecido pa' mi vida nueva, para el descubrimiento de que mitad, pa' que con mitad, y que con el propósito de mi vida de mi realidad está aquí. Mitad contento y agradecido pa' todo lo cual como experiencia, cu ayuda mi llega en el lugar, cu llama mi vida aquí na terra. Mitad contento y agradecido. Mitad contento y agradecido. Mitad contento y agradecido pa' amor, mitad contento y agradecido pa' felicidad, pa' comprender mi poder que cada vez es aquí. Y el otro descubre su dinamita, contento y agradecido de estar consciente y mi propósito en el mundo aquí. Mitad contento y agradecido pa' mi vida nueva, para el descubrimiento de que mitad, pa' que con mitad, y que con el propósito de mi vida de mi realidad está aquí. Mitad contento y agradecido pa' todo lo cual como experiencia, cu ayuda mi llega en el lugar, cu llama mi vida aquí na terra. Mitad contento y agradecido. Mitad contento y agradecido.
Si despiertas sintiéndote abatido y tu energía está baja, solo respiras y respira. Respira. Si tus problemas son demasiado para soportar, las situaciones parecen estar por todas partes, solo respira, sí. Respira. El aliento de la vida es tuyo para tomar. Solo inhala y luego exhala y estarás listo para seguir. Solo respira. El aliento de la vida es el poder que te hará superar. Solo respira y verás por ti mismo que los milagros sucederán cada vez que elijamos respirar. Cuando las nubes de tormenta se reúnen en tu mente y no puedes encontrar tu camino, solo respira. Cuando el peso del mundo está sobre tus hombros y sientes que podrías quebrarte, solo respira, sí. Respira. El aliento de la vida siempre está cerca. Solo toma un momento para encontrar tu calma. Deja ir el miedo. En el silencio de un solo aliento encontrarás la fuerza para enfrentar la prueba. Sujétate fuerte, no lo dejes ir. Siente la paz comenzar a fluir con cada inhalación. Deja que el valor se eleve, exhala, libera los suspiros pesados. Hay un poder profundo dentro. Solo respira y deja que comience la sanación. Solo respira. El aliento de la vida es el poder que te hará superar. Solo respira y verás por ti mismo que los milagros sucederán cada vez que elijamos respirar, respirar. Respira, respira, solo respira, sí, respira. Respira, respira. Solo respira, respira, solo respira, sí, respira.
second chance. But here you are, like circumstance, a touch that heals without a sound, lifting what was broken from the ground. It's a gentle revival, not a flame. No shouting skies, no thunder came. Just quiet grace, a steady rise, like love reborn behind my eyes. You came soft, like a whisper tune, a melody beneath the moon. No preacher loud, no roaring crowd, just me and you and truth aloud. It's a gentle revival, not a flame. No shouting skies, no thunder came. Just quiet grace, a steady rise, like love reborn behind my eyes. Call it love or call it fate. You meet me in this sacred space. No need to label what you do. Your mercy comes and pulls me through. Gentle revival that feels like you.
Felizmente, bendición por Curaçao, Aruba, Bonaire, Isla Riba, e todos nós que miramos na Holanda e a outra parte do mundo, bom venir ao programa de Turja Lunamenta, The Great Awakening. Então, o servidor, Coach Glenn Silvani, vai servir com o carinho e o amor, maneira da nos costume. Confiando que tu rende a dormir lá da bom e que não se manga começa bom em grande forma. Vai que fim de semana. Espero que você tenha fim de semana placentero, produtivo, lleno de cosas mágico y bonita. Ayer nós tivemos programa interessante. Espero que você, se esse não é o caso, você ter vista de budget. Então, nós vai continuar com nós de quatro Near Death Experience Story. Nós vai ter a história de Vinia, Vinia Hills. Qual é uma história hobby fascinante. Então, que eu escutei with an open heart. Sua história é hobby mais ampla. Você sabe que uma versão basta cortigo dizer. Hobby mais amplo, pero mahaya esakita é um que não por handle. Mas okay? So it's going to be very, very, very interesting. Infelizmente, Ingrid Marcelina Judira Sleicher, Joyce Kunst, Niluska Martínez, Huggy Love, Giselle Marta, infelizmente, vos não? E todo outro dan que também subi of que vídeo aqui depois. Without further ado, laga nos vai over na história de experiência cerca de morte, near death experience de Vinia. Let's go there. Nós subi vídeo incorreto, citado supotretes. A continuação, nós também subi vídeo mês. Vídeo de história de Vinia, citado supotretes. Vinia, ok. Here we are. Nós temos que ter nas plataforma. There we go.
I'm only hearing my heart racing and then slowing down and slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. And I remember the absolute moment it stopped. That's the most terrifying moment I've ever had in my life. And it was at that moment I just boop, popped out of my body. It was instantaneous, no loss in consciousness whatsoever. And I remember I had the view of my body, and I'm looking at myself, and I know it's me, but I don't feel it connect. There were two types of feelings I was having. The first one was sort of trying to figure out what the hell just happened, because I'm not dead. No way. I can't be. I'm so alive. And I felt great. Like I just felt, you're not ever like as a teenager, your body feels great. Like you're almost invincible, right? Well, imagine that times like 1,000. That's how I felt. But I'm also seeing this physical realm in a way that I've never dreamed possible I could see it before. And so I'm in awe. I'm Vina Hill, and I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I was very much an introverted type of child growing up. I did love ballet, had big dreams of becoming a ballerina, and I did that for about 12 years of my life. My parents were like working middle class. They sent me to public school and then to Catholic school. No real strong religious background or belief system. During the latter years of high school, it was like, let's do something fun and exciting, you know? And we decided on like a class trip. And then it was like, where should we go? We decided on Italy. My dad is half Sicilian. So I just wanted to go to Italy, and that was always what I was kind of lobbying for. And I was so happy when we all decided that that was where we were going to go. I had never been abroad anywhere. My parents weren't like travelers. Basically, the surrounding states was as far as we kind of went. And so it was sort of like a big thing to go on like an overseas type of trip. And of course, I was like over the moon excited about it. My parents, usually they weren't like enthused about worldly type of things like travel like that. But they were kind of enthused about this trip and like were willing to pay for it. And it would be chaperoned, so that was a good thing, because a bunch of teenagers, you know. I was 17 years old, and my first time ever leaving the country, totally excited. Days prior to the trip, like who could sleep? Like I was too pumped up, too excited. I just kept thinking about all the different scenarios that I was going to face in Italy. I didn't sleep, I don't think, 2 minutes on the flight. I was just so excited. By the time I got off the flight, I was exhausted. And it was just daytime when we arrived, like in the morning. Once we got to the airport there in Italy, it was like being on another planet. I had never seen so many different cultures and different types of people. And I remember I was just so tired. And I decided, you know what? I've got these vitamin pills. My mother's an avid vitamin taker. And so I've got these vitamin pills, and I had taken some no-dose pills. No-dose pills are basically just like pure caffeine. I would take them because we were taking tests, and I would have to study and make sure I passed in the SATs and this and that. It would give you a jolt of energy if you took them as you were supposed to. Of course, I didn't. I don't even know how many I took, but I took a ton of them. And I was shoving them in my mouth like they were just, you know, candy. I remember gulping them down, and some of them fell out in the fountain there, and I picked it back up and shoved them back in my mouth. By the time the chaperone got us together and we're loading our stuff onto the bus, I remember starting to feel a little change in my body, my system. Something wasn't quite right. I remember the first thing I started feeling was this tingling under my skin. And you know, my heart was racing a little bit. And that was sort of like a little precursor to what was coming. And I remember we had already started taking off. And I just got to the point where I literally felt like I could jump out of my skin. And I remember sort of just like, I was leaning over like this, and my heart started really racing, like really racing, to the point where I started hearing it. And I don't know if anyone has ever had that feeling, but it's a super weird feeling because you don't hear anything else but your heart. And it got to the point where I could hear it, boom, 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 boom. And I just was like, oh, what the? You know, what is this? And at some point, it just reached a crescendo, like it just stopped with the and it started super slowing down. And that's when I really became so terrified. If someone had screamed at me, I'd have never heard it. I'm only hearing my heart racing and then slowing down and slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. And I remember the absolute moment it stopped. That's the most terrifying moment I've ever had in my life. And it was at that moment I just boop, popped out of my body. It was instantaneous, no loss in consciousness whatsoever. And I remember I had the view of my body, but I also had a omnidirectional view. And I remember seeing my body, not realizing that I had died. And I'm looking at this me that's laying there, and I was almost unrecognizable because your body, when you're looking at it from a complete view, it's not like the mirror view. It's a completely different look. You're like clay, formed clay, sort of. And I'm looking at myself, and I know it's me, but I don't feel it connect. There were two types of feelings I was having. The first one was sort of trying to figure out what the hell just happened, because I'm not dead. No way. I can't be. I'm so alive. And I felt great. Like I just felt, you're not ever like as a teenager, your body feels great. Like you're almost invincible, right? Well, imagine that times like 1,000. That's how I felt. But I'm also seeing this physical realm in a way that I've never dreamed possible I could see it before. And so I'm in awe. When I was purely consciousness, okay, things were not as dense to me. I could see all the layers of things. And I'm seeing all these little energy patterns everywhere, like little waves of energy everywhere. And I'll never forget this. There was this metal bar at the front of the bus that people usually hold on to if they're getting ready to exit or whatever. And I remember there was literally energy coming off that bar, this inanimate object. The bus driver at some point cursed loudly at the traffic, and it just drew my attention to him. I was able to see through his exterior physical body because, like I said, I saw the full spectrum of things. And because of that, I knew also that he was like sickly. And other things came up about him, about his life, and I knew that he was cheating, and he had a couple of kids, and they weren't all by the same woman, and I was seeing all the energy that was being emitted from him, his life. There was energy coming from the people on the bus. Other people's energy, it was very pulsing and alive, but at the same time, I'm looking at my body, and there's very little energy coming off my body. But at some point, there was a presence that overlaid my consciousness and drew me towards it and just kind of took me completely out of the bus. Not forcibly, but enough to where I wasn't really in control. And it took me into a white realm. Not even a room, because it didn't have the limitations or the confinement of a room or even a space. It was just a realm of the purest whiteness that you could ever imagine. I knew that there was a being that did this, but the identity of the being wasn't revealed to me. It was sort of like you meet a stranger and you converse with the stranger, okay, and it's a friendly type of conversation, interaction, but they don't tell you their name. It wasn't like a complete stranger, like, gee, I know this person from somewhere. I just not sure where. They know me. They've got all the details about me. I just can't pinpoint where I know them from. I was around this extremely friendly stranger who was emitting these beautiful, loving vibes. I knew I could trust them instinctively. But they were very hands-off, standoffish initially, allowed me to feel this realm out, allowed me to just experience it. My energy merged seamlessly in this realm, harmoniously in this realm. I was it was me. It was just a complete merging of my being into this realm. And I didn't want to ever be anywhere else. That was it. It was like I was home. Within this realm, I got to connect with different worlds, different creations. I experienced just an influx of so many different facets of existence. And believe me, this is a tiny part of it. Tiny, minuscule part of it. There was like a transference of a whole thought. So imagine a thought having color, feeling, any sound, anything that you can imagine, but being transferred inaudibly. And that's how I received information from this entity who explained to me that they were my spiritual companion. We call them guides. They didn't impart a lot of information to me as far as like a lot of the missing gaps of information that I have or had as a teenager back then. But there were some things that they did show me. One in particular that's, embarrassing a tad bit is showing me all the things I had stolen as a teenager. I was like a little petty thief, and they kind of showed me everything I had stolen. At some point, I let them know I really wanted to be like a famous ballerina, and they imparted to me that they showed me the entire picture of me thinking I really wanted to be a ballerina, but showing me in a mere thought, I didn't put the work that I needed to do into becoming a ballerina. I didn't even really strive for it like I should have. The energy just wasn't there for it, and it just wasn't my purpose. And they put all that in one thought, and I understood, and I accepted it. And then I saw how me taking the no-dos wasn't actually just an accident or a flippant type thought. It was literally an energy path that I was supposed to take. It was literally supposed to happen that way. I learned about our soul being the highest aspect of ourselves. And I was in the presence of my soul. And let me tell you something, it's an extremely humbling experience. It's like meeting a totally different person that you idolize, except it's you. It's the purest aspect of you. And that's why I say this is just a sliver of existence and who we are, because your soul never incarnates, never leaves that realm. It's just on the level that it just can't be broken up or sectioned, but it sends offshoots, and this is one of the offshoots. But meeting my soul was just a the most divine, beautiful experience I've ever experienced, okay? Because we're just connected to the all of everything. This I can tell you, there's no up, down, left, or right. Like, there's no end to it. Space is vast. And then when you're looking at it from the perspective I was looking at it, I was seeing not only the space that we're going to see through our telescopes here, okay, but I was seeing between levels of it. So I was seeing different parts of it that we're not going to see. And it was just unbelievable. I saw these orbs traveling out in space, and they were going different directions. You could tell they were traveling somewhere with purpose because the orb kind of changed shape a little bit. I remember kind of being a little fascinated by that. You just see it like, sort of like a slipstream that you could see moving. And I'm like, oh my God, they're like, just like me. And I wonder, like, and I remember thinking, geez, like, are they as like excited? Like, this is awesome, you know, like, but it was mind blowing. It was so mind blowing. It's like, whoa. So they were like the different dimensional beings traveling through. It's so much going on out there. The very last experience that I had was being taken to this garden that was just, everything was just alive. And in so many different species of plants that I couldn't even imagine. Some of them I've never seen here on Earth. You know, I was interacting with them, and I had the most beautiful, I call spiritual dance with one of the flowers. And I can't even describe to you the flower because it's nothing like I've ever seen. But we were like ballerinas dancing together, but in perfect sync, in perfect harmony. It just infused me with love and a sense of life beyond just what I knew life to be, like a life of living love, like just living it. Everything I did, just every move I made was just a loving, purposeful move. And we did this dance, and it was incredible. I went from being this tiny little teenager from Philadelphia in high school on a trip to Italy, but now I had seen a whole different world, a whole different part of existence that I didn't even know existed. So the very last thing I asked my guy was, how should I live now? What should I do now? Because how can I top this? How can I even be as good as this? And I was given the most simplest but loving answer. And it was basically, just live, be kind, but just enjoy the life that I was sort of squeezed into here. And I call it squeezed into because at that point I felt so expansive and so alive and so magnificent. So live the way I could in this life that I was focused on. And that stuck with me ever since. I've never forgotten it. That was our very last interaction. I wasn't told or given a choice. Hey, do you want to go back or do you want to stay? There was none of that. All I knew is the very next thing was I was going through a different type of portal. It started out extremely ethereal, but it picked up density. It almost felt like I was going through mud. a sort of muddy type of water. And then it felt super heavy, the heaviness of it. And trying to connect back to feeling and the sensations of this body was not easy. I had to think it first. I'm like, okay, my arm, my leg, you know. And at some point, again, I heard my heartbeat, okay? But it was normal. And it wasn't a scary type of heartbeat like I initially felt when it was racing and then slowing down. This was like a normal rhythm. It was trying to get its rhythm back. Finally, by this point, I knew that body had died. And so I almost felt like a stranger in this body at some point. I didn't feel, it felt like I was animating a puppet. That's kind of how it felt. I was pulling the strings and animating a puppet, sort of, but I remember being able to twitch and sort of move at some point in my heart, and then I couldn't hear it anymore, and that was a relief. I was like, I was blind when I first really came to and opened my eyes, but that film came down and my sight was completely restored, and I was back in. Fortunately, no one seemed to notice. And it's amazing to me, none of the people on the bus, the coach, they seemed to notice anything. And if they had, they didn't say anything. But I was so not concerned with them. I was literally coming into my own skin, literally coming into my own skin. I was processing and going over everything in my mind. I remember also yearning for that feeling of love, but it's beyond love. There's a love beyond love, and the only word I can use to describe it is divine love. Okay, nothing religious about it, zero religious, but it's so sublime, it's divine. I was yearning for that feeling again, and I carried it, but it wasn't the same. I wasn't immersed in it. I was just pulling it from a recent memory. So of course, there was no one I could even begin to talk about it to, because I knew the mindset of me and my friends, and they would have been like, what? Like, really? We thought you didn't do drugs. Sure sound like it. But so I couldn't even talk about it. I had to just keep everything to myself. But I remember I was going off on so we went on all these different places, tours, etc. I remember just walking off by myself on every one of them, just about. I just had to be alone. I just kept thinking about everything over and over and over again. And even after I came back from the trip, I couldn't tell my parents or no one. After the trip, I came back. I tried college. I lasted about a year. I came back home. I wasn't doing too much with my life. I had no real purpose. I just had this fantastic experience. I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. Me just basically living and realizing there was so much more to this. It was just like, it took any ambition that I had of anything and just put it on the back burner. My dad, one day he's like, look, I don't care what you do, but you got 30 days to do something. And so that kind of pushed me, and the quickest thing I could do was, go into the military, and that's what I chose. I was in the service for 10 years, and there were times that the harshness of the service and the regimen and and then I became a mother while I was in the service. It kind of pushed the whole near-death experience to the back of my mind. And so I didn't really have a lot of time at that time to really cement it and put it all together into its proper places. Processing this experience has taken me years, and it wasn't something that I could just put right together. So it was a gradual piecing together. One of the main things I learned is that life is not haphazard, and it's not just random. There is no basic thing as luck, as we like to think it. Everything is sort of like pre-planned. You know, we set up different paths that we can take, but they're all going to get us to our overall, what I call like the soul's agenda, the agenda of why we personally and physically came into this existence. There's certain things that we want to either experience, go over, rectify. Typically, this usually isn't our first time around the block. It isn't our first barbecue, as they say. And so we have different things we want to learn, fix, sort of to round out our understanding of things. Someone asked me once, is this real or is this just a hologram? This is very real, but it's like living a play. We're performing a play. It's a serious play, but it's a play. Understanding that has really helped me out a lot through all the different things I've been through in this life. There is a current of love that's behind everything. Everything. Love is literally the basic foundation of everything. It doesn't always show up as pretty. It's got to show up as how we can best see it. But it's always there. Love is literally like the building block of all existence. It's the one cohesive force that just makes everything run. It's sublime, it's beautiful, it's harmonious, it's perfect. And if we can just accept that and see and understand that, it kind of flips the switch on our perspective of things and just helps us to see things in a whole different way. If you can realize this Vina or this you is not separate from the spiritual world, it's just a tiny part of it. You're never separate from it. You are it.
I've walked through halls with echoing pain, rooms of doubt and silent shame. But even there, where light seemed gone, you placed a whisper, soft but strong. In hollow places, you bring holy light, shining grace into the night. You don't rush, you don't shout, you move through me from the inside out.
tried to fix what time had worn, but you love me in the scorn, in the cracks where I had failed. You planted peace that never fails. In hollow places, they say, you bring holy light, shining grace into the night. You don't rush, you don't rush, you don't shout, you don't shout. You move through me from the inside out, from the inside out. Every scar became a song. You were quiet, but never gone. And now I rise in gentle flame, held by love, not bound by shame. In hollow places, you remain. In hollow places, you bring holy light, shining grace into the night. You don't rush, you don't rush, you don't shout, you don't shout, you don't shout. From the inside out, from the inside out. You remain.
Ese que o programa The Great Awakening, weer diba ja luna dia 22 de september. Anto bakabiwak near death experience story di Vanya Hills. Na machopi cosmesta tinding. Dit is zo'n awakening, me awareness, die me awakening, ta near death experience stories. Na 2023 ma comecei a near death experience stories. Anto makeda wak, ma wak pelo menos un 100 pico. Anto después ma base mi proprio research di que te costan similar. Então, é cose a salvar-me, é cose a liberar-me, assim me liber. É cose a donar-me mais coragem, como eu tincava. Então, onde cose que lá se pá, me tá, ela quita todo mi medo de morto e também ter mi conceito de que está morto, que está Deus, que está picar, que está fierno, etc, etc. Então, mas chega no lugar que a minha mãe bispo sancava, meeting me Bible, and meeting a story and a near death experience. Anto tu dosta contar mi storia di Dios, Bible, e tu de testimonio na maniera e Signora vinia di near death experience. Então, mi será make un choice. E choice stava da quasi nan dos mi te chiere. Quasi nan dos tin prueba que Dios realmente existi. Antere mi mistera scoe e storia na di near death experience. Riba Bible. Si bota volga mi bon, e ultimo gestres ainan, bora tende mi bisa ku Bible pa mi ora che un book importante per nota lo qual ku ami a miré para 40 años, con Bible de Dios. Ahora que me mira Bible como un buque que está papia tocante de Dios. Con la opinión de gente tocante de Dios y tocante de ami y abo su relación de Dios. Antoro bo kwe Bible po ne bani di historia nan di en nan ku amore bin back pa conta ku tene na vida. Bo ku bisa ku ene nan ki su testimonio tocante Dios mas credible ku Bible. Então, dus, eta prebaku, ora ku bo escucha historia nan di near that experience, bo escucha now with an open heart, eta cambia bo vida di con. Pa sobra eta ayudabo reconectar com quem realmente botava sobre. Ene nanki, no lubida. Dios nanta vai topa kune. Anto e Dios ku nanta topa kune ta bisa nan bindak e conta. Laga turende sa Kiko po sa experiência di ko so nang experiência ta ami e abo su experiência. Nos no timese tenen but mira ami que me vive un vida mi nota sufri más. Mi notin dolor sa con passare fe tristezza. Mi taglia disappunto, pero mi sa con passare fuori disappunto. Mi ta liber. Antes mi ta papel tocan de libertad, agora que mi ta liber. Pa motivo come a studio near that experience, stories, ante la cambia mi vida. Liber significa, bota liber pa boas lo qual boque oro ko boque e maneira ko boque sin tingo de una cuenta resona nyuene. Na momento que cada coisa que botin quase botin que ter conta com outro ende of outro sistema, bo nota liber. A mi tu amo liber. Mi nota marana nada, mi nota marana nyuene na família, na matrimônio, na igreja, na sociedade, na nada. Malaga turende sa, imita lagando turende sa ku amita liber. Pa sobra, the best version of me is when I am free to myself. The best version of you is when you find your freedom for yourself. Anto basa kita kos new hende po dunabe. New hende no por dunabe. That is something that you have to give to yourself because it's something that you have. It's your birthright. Freedom is your birthright. But you are the one who has to claim it. Nobody can give you that. It's your birthright. Okay? So, near that experience, stories has liberated me. I am now a free man. And this is why I am telling these stories. I'm letting you know and see these different near death experience stories because it's life changing. The only thing you need to do is believe. And as you believe, you will find you. That is exactly what has happened to me in 2023. Então, uma vez vou descobrir, vou descobrir a totalidade, vou descobrir a divinidade, vou descobrir o Deus que botar, vou descobrir a estimação incondicional que botar, bota estimação incondicional. It's your nature. So don't take these stories for granted. Don't look at them simply as a story. It's your story. It's your story. These are real people. Escritura, awaru, hincade no sistema. Pero esa que nanta historia de ene nan ko abiba itabibando. De senhor que acaba mire, esta tem 17 anos hora que ela é near that experience. Agora que tem 70 e pico anos. 70 e pico anos. More than almost 60 years ago. It's no joke. Se botar aqui não para me bia awe, vai wak e se sabe que de 4 near that experience. É um promete, me tem uma entrevista. Como te moe com a cabeça near that experience de 2021. Da 4 anos passar. She came back to tell. Okay? Felizmente para Joyce, Elizabeth, Ernie, Ursula, Tanchi Valerius, Eldon, Ricardo, Vladi, Soares, Martina, Ronalda. Felizmente para você, e tudo isso não está on. Nós somente appreciate TIF que você está junto conosco no programa aqui. Então, pensar que de maneira que nós serve você. Para mim é um prazer para servir você. Ma pisa ayer ku awe mi tebe papo tocante di assunto di evento. Mi chievo sansa ku maniera ma bisa sempre mi tu endo sumamente transparente. E evento no estaba yendo manera nos tingana pe bai. Pero estaba yendo manera e tinku bai. Tendo en cuenta que o evento que não é um evento comercial. É um evento caminda gente tingo bini para também guardo entretener. É um evento para ajuda a elevar nos isla. So, door que não é um evento comercial e para entretener, quantidade não é necessário para nós. Lota great se nós podemos llenar nos sala. So, actualmente tem mais ou menos 10 pico que a registrar. Para mim, nada mais que o suficiente. Já agora que te semana tem evento, turcos que nós a plania para evento que não por seguir maneira de dar. Turcos não se adaptar. Nós temos que adaptar turcos de compra sobre dor que nós não arranha é público, lo qual que nós assistência vai nós não há sponsor não, lo qual que nós assistência vai nós não há donação não, lo qual que nós assistência vai nós não temos recurso não para fazer evento de maneira nós temos assim, pero nós está assim toch. Se bini 12 anos nós está assim toch. Se bini 10 anos nós está assim toch. Se bini 100 anos nós está assim toch. Pero agora que sinta, caminho me tá aqui, tem roupa coisa que me não sabe. Me não sabe preciso. Me sabe como me queixasse, pero me não sabe preciso. Que eu também vira. Pero coisa me sabe, é fim de semana que nós temos evento. Nós não também queda chama mais aqui não, de forma aqui para o bem. Nós está mais. É só o bem que bem. Nós queda bem assim, inteira semana aqui, uma precisa também estar com e também estar que hora, etc, etc. Weekend está assim. Nós não sabemos tampoco que vai estar tu 3 dias, of 2 dias, of dia. Coisa não sabe, e também seguir. Antes de seguir, com isso não, o que participar. Mas sobre nós queremos é poder e influência de fazer, sobre nota evento comercial nem para entretener, é evento espiritual. Ok? So, me queda transparente com você. Mas não que está volg me, lo me buta kiriba si kiko te kiko, pero lo cual como pensa para se me acercar grupo não e organização não que está interessado para bini entre para não bini na evento. Abo que tá o programa aqui que tem mais que caso um aí como deve estar, me deve saber nada mais. Me quebra botei esse, pero me deve queda llorar, sobre tursi mami deve saber subir ao website, registrar. Figurabo, me deve pensar coisa. Nós temos tanto de boneiro para registrar com de corso. Não tem pagar um ticket também. A me repetir me mesmo. Tem mais gente de boneiro para registrar, com não tem pagar um ticket para também. Que tem de corso para registrar. Saludo para nós de boneiro, que quer de nós, que quer de o trabalho que nós está fazendo. Nós estamos sumamente agradecidos, Nanã. Sumamente agradecido, Nanã. Ok? So, me te espera que isso aqui me porta bom claro. Me tem compreensão para tudo o qual a gente está pensa de evento of de me tem compreensão para tudo ele, pero ao mesmo tempo me não tenho isso. Perciò mi hace lo qual mi te sinti come mi guasi. Lo qual mi te sinti. Mi che vuoi pensare che mi guia spiritual mi angela anta papia come. Ento mi te lo qual non mi sa. Ento undi e cos kun mi sa mi duidelijk no pare. No matter what. So, mi te stand vastig. Oké, lieve mensen. Dat was een plezier, Silvio Bosso. Então, agora que a única coisa que eu visa, nós topa fim de semana aqui, lo mi bine aqui não, durante a semana aqui para me visa, que eu preciso, por exemplo, agora que me deve sair, para eu me dar regra que outro para o evento. Cambio não que tenho no lugar. Cambio não que tenho no lugar, de lugar, speaker, concerto, etc. Cambio não tenho no lugar, para sobrar nós temos que ter em conta que a realidade de que nós temos e que nós por, que nós possibilidades, que nós limitamos. Ja? Dus, biamas, met agradecido, é tiquina que há e tem de querer de nós. Sumamente apreciar isso. Ok? Dus nós queda em contato, então siga-nos, ok? Fascina-nos por seguir brindando nos programas. Tudo coisa bom e nós está contento. Tchau.
Et voilà la chose.
Mi que está contento, si guardi que non mi sei. Contento, riba mi sei.
Su esa, ritmesa, balancesa. Atención. Musique en moi, c'est un point. Musique là, c'est un point. Dis-moi là, c'est un point. En position, tout le comme ça. Comme ça. Musique en moi, c'est un point. Musique là, c'est un point. Dis-moi là, c'est un point.
Mi que está contento, si guardi que non mi sei. Contento, riba mi sei. Dammi una voz, smile, smile, che bonita smile, smile. Guarda pouco, beleza de vida. Tengo tá rico, pero não é cuida. Tengo os placa no por compra, saúde ele não tá coiunda. Dortim, tão bagulho, bate na curva te mani. Quer sa não tá contente. O rio bega vai rolantinho, não gasta não tempo. Felicidade por nada, usa o fé como arma. Nem de chora morrer.